Bluska, I know that you can mention your experiences from tell me your big experience in high school, your big forming experience in high school. Then we'll reach to the next level right after.
High school was definitely interesting. For me, I guess 3 major points that really pushed me in high school is just like being true to myself. I think I'm not perfect, but I stayed true to the values that my parents kind of instilled in me, and I know that. I guess that's why I'm still able to have a lot of these friends that I've made through them, because I don't know, I've always like valued the realness in people, and just having those like hashtag sad boy in high school for sure.
Yeah,
just like on my Drake, on my Weekend, on my Frank Ocean. So yeah, so I guess I would say music really developed me. Again, like sports, and one thing I really enjoyed too was like the creative pursuits I was able to like do, even though like sports took a lot of my time. Like one of my favorite things I got to do was like perform at like cabaret with my sister, or like or hosting the final year assembly, the Christmas assembly, and running for student council. I guess like putting myself out there. It's like I would consider myself as like a introverted extrovert. So it's like, it's weird. It's weird to me. Like I'm pretty quiet. Like I kept a lot of thoughts to myself. Really, like I guess one thing I'm gonna reveal, like as I know some people might know, I wrote poetry like for like a long time. So like that's something that I kept to myself, reserved to myself.
I remember that. Yeah, dude. I will admit, I think okay. To be honest, Weska, I had like, because I do spend time thinking about different things at different times, and I think when it came to you were very, for everyone listening, Bluska is this. I would describe him as flexible, right? Like you mentioned, he can be in certain settings, he'll be the life of the party, and the other times he'll be really quiet and just observant. But in high school, I remember he was a very friendly individual who was able to get along with so many different like friend groups and social circles, and because of that, it was very difficult for me, because I always stuck to certain friend groups, to just like our paths didn't really cross as much. And I think that's something that we worked towards as we were able to hang out more going into university and even till now. But yeah, I remember in high school, like Buska, dude, this guy, like everyone knew you. And that's something that like you still have nowadays, where everyone's like, you can go downtown and hit up the Barking Frog or something. But hey, Bluska. I'm like, yeah, he was just here last week. He was having a party, man. And like, yeah, and then like fist bump, sign off. But yeah, like it was a time where, Bluska, you just had so many social groups going on. So yeah, it was hard to have our paths align. But I know that you had those strong connections with certain people and certain groups, and you've held on to them since then. So
yeah, I guess those are the ones that really anchored me down, even though like you have so many, like a lot of like seeds planted everywhere, but there's some the roots like stuck to some specific people that I'm really thankful for, because it turned into like a lot of things that those 4 years of high school aren't going to be nothing compared to like hopefully the 60 years that come beyond now, and the people that I'm going to have for those 60 years, that those seeds became like nice a nice blossoming garden. But yeah, all right, let's push on to graduation. Let's go to graduation. So it's grade 12. It's graduation. Like, were you one of those people that had your life figured out at graduation? Like, this is what I want to do, and I know it.
All right, Bluska, I'm gonna go do a callback to one of our previous early episodes when I talked about that one song. And dude, I do not have. Yeah, I never like. I still don't even know what I'm doing moving forward. And I think that's something that I've learned across the years, how not all people do have their lives like planned out, right? Like there's some people that have that image in their mind where like, oh, yo, by X age, I want to get married. I want to have children. I want to have my career. I want to like retire at X age. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like, if I'd sum up my high school experience, it'd probably be a lot of like a huge ball of like anxiety. And it's always been kind of weird. And it wasn't until like towards the end of my high school experience, especially when I was able to participate in basketball with you guys and just be able to do stuff socially with a lot more people than just my close friend group. Those are pretty formative experiences. But back to your question, I didn't really have it all figured out. And that's something that always weighs on my mind, because sometimes you see people that it's not something that I didn't achieve well in school. It's more of like I see people like, yo, like these people have their direction. Like, hey, I want to be in this position. I want to work in this company. And I'm just like, it just makes you look at yourself in the mirror and just be like, am I doing something different? And also something you shouldn't really do is you shouldn't put yourself in that shoes where you're like, maybe I should do that too. Yeah. Right? No, you gotta find your own path. But finding your own path is difficult. So Bleska, how would you answer that question? Graduation, did you have everything together?
See, no. Like you'd think like with all the things that I was doing that I'd choose one, but I guess like a jack of all trades is a master of none. Yeah, so that's when it was really like, man, the real world is happening right now. So I had to go back to grade 13. I was still hanging on to some hoop dreams, but then that's when like I guess to me like my bubble didn't like completely burst until that final like basketball game that we had against JP2. That should have been at home.
Where we cried
because we were 10-0, undefeated. Oh, and I accomplished my goal of winning Mr. Basketball. That was like one of my great goals that I had. But then it was like, for what? It was like, man, here I am. Like, I still don't know what I want to be. Like I still have no real like solid. And this is like midway through grade 13. And remember, our coach, Mr. Broadfoot, he took me aside and then he said, like, Bleska, like, I'm really proud of you. I want you to know that when my son grows up, I want him to be someone like you. And like, man, that sent me to like Saturn. That was like something that it's like still like makes me quiver a little bit right now because I'm still like here, like, yo, like I was not that special, but like
that's huge. Having a grown adult talk to you and say that I want you to be my child's like role model, that's huge. And that's something that I think you've kept to yourself moving forward, and something I think that like I think both of us try to, and a lot of people that we know in our friend group try to exemplify that, right? Like just being the right example for certain people. Yeah, just trying to be positive role models and just see where it goes, because I think people need people, and people need people that they can look towards. And it's very difficult nowadays where a lot of people, especially youth, are influenced by the wrong people. And that can be very damaging. It can be very damaging for them as they develop, right? If you're looking at the wrong people and get into like either substance abuse or other negative situations like that can have lasting effects that people don't really think about. And yeah, like Bleska, just you're staying in the right path. You're setting an example. People can see that through your actions, through like Sports Connect, hopefully through HomeCookin. Me, I'm just like that hometown hero that does small things at a small scale, but yeah, hopefully just trying to make an impact.
Yeah, HomeCookin, trying to just make a good example, especially with the people that we're trying to bring on, the conversation we're trying to have, highlighting the light and positivity that surrounds us in some somber times, and just push that forward. But whoa, wait a minute, Alan, did you hear that?
Hold up, what was that?
Well, I think it's time for our overtime period. Hashtag Speak Your Mind, which is sponsored by absolutely nobody. And today, Alan, why don't you set the table?
Okay. So, Bleska, on the theme of just quote unquote exposing ourselves, Bleska, the question I have for today is, I would like you to give me something embarrassing about you, something that people can remember you by, or yes, give me something that's like people don't know about you, but that would be embarrassing. But let's get real.
That would be embarrassing. Jeez, like something that something that I wouldn't call it embarrassing, but it's like something that I'm not ready to share with the world like yet. I feel like when I'm recording my songs and doing my music, I still feel like it's kind of cringy, but I'm like working on it. So I don't think it's like embarrassing. I just think it's like an unfinished product that will get better. But I guess if I played you something right now, I'd be like embarrassed if you found it. I'd be like, but to each their own. But I don't know. I have to think of something now. I'm sorry. I think I might like bring up a better idea if you go first.
Well, Bleska, thank you for putting me in the spotlight. And so this is how, like, it is embarrassing, and even like my parents know about it too. So, Bleska, hopefully you can think of something similar. Although, and I'm already feeling like anxious to talking about it, but the embarrassing thing that hopefully I'm not alone in this. Where, dude, when I'm sleeping, I like to hug something. So usually I hug a stuffed animal or a pillow. And I remember my parents actually bought me some big stuffed animal sheep years back, and I still kind of use it. So it's nice to have that comfort and hug something. So,
Alan, man, you're too precious.
I'm so embarrassed right now.
You're too precious for the world, man. Oh gosh, you have like a heart of like pure 110% gold. I swear, like full. That's incredible. Oh, I don't know if I could top that. Mine is just like I don't have anything that's
like. Yo, what's your most embarrassing moment?
I always say my most embarrassing moment is first year training camp. When I was so bad at football, holy! I do not want to see that film ever.
But how did you made it through though? Like you found a way.
Yeah, exactly. I worked at it and I got better, but that I was so bad.
That's so jokes though.
I've never been dunked on.
No, you have. What are you talking about? You have.
I've been dunked on? What are you talking about?
Yo, are we not gonna talk about the Beal video?
I didn't get dunked on.
Well, I know James Jackson Josh Jackson. James Jackson. He was 18 and abused Hans.
Jeez.
Put him on a poster a few times. I don't know if you got on that one. I'm not sure. I might have to pull up the video.
There's no way I jumped. I would never jump with a man 6'8" with a 40-inch vertical. No chance. But yeah, so thank you for tuning into this episode about each other that opens up a little more, lets you into our world a little more, brings you closer to our warm little hearts and our goal-driven souls. So
keep your ears open for what comes next and exciting guests coming up. Let's go.
Let's go.
Fist bump. Signing off.